So yeah, as I explained in the previous video, I thought Kiwi 64 was just a minigame as a reward for finishing Macbat 64. I had no idea it was the first game in the series until after I finished it, making this the first time I have 2 games fully completed in a single recording. Normally I wouldn't do 2 games from the same series back to back unless it was an updated version of the game I just covered, like I've done with some fighting games, but considering the situation, I don't mind making an exception here. So if I'm right, this is a free game on PC and was only added to the Switch version of Macbat 64 as an unlockable extra. I definitely recognise the sight of the Melon King on top of the mountain from the next game's prologue. So Kiwi can move, jump and do a spinning attack to take out those bananas. Like the game this is a tribute to, the main goal is collecting musical notes. As I look around, I run into a family of grapes, saying that their brothers and sisters have gone missing. Kiwi fruits also act as the game's health, like Banjo's honeycombs. The regular standing attack isn't much good, so if I want to kill bananas, it has to be done after a jump. There's a rock with eyes telling me that there are 4 hidden letters through the game as well. I get climbing up the nearby rocks, bringing my note total to 12 and picking up the letter K at the top. I bounce up the green mushroom to reach 8 more notes and drop down to this area with the tree from Macbat's Bright Islands and some huts just like the ones outside Mumbo's first skull in Banjo-Kazooie. Scouring the area, I find the first grape and approach the tree, who begs me to not destroy the huts. I find a letter I nearby and get destroying the huts anyway. Most have notes, but one has one of 5 magical lamps. Plus, every so often I get rhyming commentary from the Melon King. Collecting all the notes around here brings my total to 31, and I jump the mushroom over this fence to the next section. I get the notes on the mushrooms on the way down and chat to this giant toothy worm in a pipe who wants an apple, but doubts there will be one big enough for him as the camera shows one in the branches high above. I get my note counter to 41 and climb back up the mushrooms and over the wall again to a larger area. I run around the ground first, getting my note total to a full 60. There's this one seed trapped in an ice cube, but I can't figure out how to break it. I'm sure I'll find a way. Also, here is the cartridge to the game's sequel, Kiwi 65, being held hostage as the devs want to make a car game instead. I get climbing up all the mushrooms in this section to find the second letter I. There's also a second bunch of mushrooms going even higher for the second grape. With that, I've done a full lap around the mountain. So around the area of the giant tree, I use a green mushroom to bounce higher. I find the third and final grape up here, and the grapes leave a lamp in front of themselves. Running along the branch here, I can grab the final letter, the W, impressing the rock enough to make it hand out a lamp as well. On the other side of the branch is the giant apple I knocked down. The worm also hands out a lamp. I drop down and grab it, followed by the ones from the rock and the grapes. I climb the other way around the mountain, reaching a chain of mushrooms that bounce me up to a key that frees Kiwi 65. It says that if I bring it 60 notes, I can play, and drops the final lamp. I fall down into it and the combined power of all 5 lamps blast the Melon King off, putting in motion the events of Macbat 64 2 years later. I then get the credits and am kicked back to that game's title screen. But what about that seed? Well, I can glitch myself through the wall behind the ice cube, then jump up behind it to phase through the cube and collect it. It does nothing other than be worth a note. But that's Kiwi 64. Of course, being the first game and just this one level, I wouldn't call it as good as Macbat. But I feel the same things I said about that game, how impressive it even is made by just one person and put out for free. It does feel like a full Banjo level condensed into 10 minutes, and its one music track sounds like it could be absolutely from those games. Of course, being so short it won't be ranked anywhere near Macbat, but it still manages to end up in my nebulous, okay, decent, fine and other words of similar meaning section.